high frequency.
Confirmed. Cam at the bottom of that slope.
Advance!
I need squad 2 closer to the mill. Copy?
Advance!
Copy that. No need to go as far as Western Ridge.
Advance!
1 Mike 1, what's your 20? Go. That's a return to command.
Advance!
Copy that.
Advance!
Search aboard. Return to command.
Advance!
Repeat, search aboard.
Attention all units, this will conclude today's search. Search has not yielded target evidence. All units report back to base.
What makes the Chandra Levy case so unique is that it had to do with a congressman. The fact that a U.S. congressman might have had something to do with the disappearance and the murder of a young intern in the nation's capital, that made this case unbelievable.
Mr. Condit, can you tell us anything, sir?
Why did they focus on Gary Condit?
Is there another suspect?
Was Chandra kidnapped?
Once and for all, we find out exactly where we are with this case. We have information that has been dribbling in bits and pieces.
What was the nature of their relationship?
Why are the police not being open about this case?
Was Chandra pregnant?
I am not going to share the details of my relationship with Chandra.
The Chandra Levy case is a huge, messy, complicated, distorted, lying disaster.
We're so worried, and our hearts are broken right now.
When you think about all the mistakes made along the way, it is no wonder that it took so long to solve this case.
Truth is stranger than fiction. A lot of people think they know this case, but they really don't.
Okay, so you say she lives near DuPont Circle.
Yes. 21st Street. She's been out of touch for almost a week, and we're really getting worried.
All right, give me the address and we'll send the car over.
So give us about 10 minutes.
This is the beginning of the mystery of Chandra Levy. She's left her wallet, her ID, her cell phone, her computer still on.
Where did Chandra Levy go? What happened to her? Why would she leave all these things behind, all of her personal belongings, if she was coming back?
Was she abducted? Could she have just gone off for a walk and possibly been abducted on the walk? Could she have hurt herself?
One of the first critical mistakes that the investigators made in this case is the botched search of her computer history. By crashing her hard drive, the police department lose whatever opportunities they may have had that day to see where she went on the internet.
Thanks a lot. Just call us if you see or hear from her or learn anything else.
Sure.
Another mistake that the police make when they first search Chandra's apartment is they forget to ask for the security camera, a tape that was erased over. What they would have found if they had asked for that is what time Chandra left, what she was wearing, was she with anyone? That information was gone forever.
All right, look, we need to cross-check the major airlines, Amtrak, bus companies with a credit card number. All the interviews with her friends, family, whatever, need to take place in the next 24 hours, all right?
Got it. First interview's already waiting. Sven Jones. He worked with her at the Bureau of Prisons.
Bureau of Prisons, huh? Let's get a list of all the active cases she could have been working on, all right?
In the early days of the investigation, the flurry of activity is centered on who is Chandra Levy Who does she know in Washington? And what are her habits? Where does she go? Who does she see? Who does she like? Is she seeing anybody? Is she dating any men? Where does she work?
So how would you characterize your relationship with Miss Levy?
Can't believe she's missing. Think she's in trouble?
So that's what we're trying to find out.
I'm starting to get very nervous. I'm thinking this from the perspective of this is a missing persons case, this is a kidnapping case, this is a very good friend that needs to be found, and she needs to be found now.
We're co-workers. She's officially an intern, but we work together.
Sven Jones becomes an early suspect. He knows her, he spends time with her, he goes to the gym with her, it appears he likes her.
Did you ever have an intimate relationship with Miss Levy?
No.
You ever see her outside of work?
No, maybe we'd grab lunch together or walk to the metro station if you want to count that.
She ever talk about her personal life?
Sometimes she'd talk about that. Her family, how excited she was to be in Washington.
Hey, Mom? Dad?
Hi, sweetie.
I'm heading east.
You got that internship?
I did.
Congratulations, sweetheart.
Thanks, Dad.
How long will you have to be in Washington?
Have to be in Washington? It's a punishment, Mom?
You know what I mean. How long is the internship?
Well, it goes through next May, and then I'm gonna come back, graduate, and get my degree, and, figure out what's next. Don't forget that I need this internship to graduate.
And this is the Federal Bureau of...
It's the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Mom. They oversee all the prisons, the federal officers.
Criminal justice, huh? Kind of a tough environment for a young woman.
Dad, it's not like I'm working in the prison. It's kind of like the headquarters. And plus, this is gonna look incredible on my resume if I want to apply for the FBI.
Here's this young woman from an upper middle class family in Modesto. Her father's an oncologist, a scientist, her mother's an artist, and yet she is drawn to the world of the FBI, of the criminal justice system, of prisons. What's that about?
She, from a very young age, was really enamored of authority figures. She becomes an explorer in the police department. She gets her uniform. She wears it in the halls of high school. She really just was fascinated by the idea of public service.
She sees this as a way to make a difference in the world.
Excuse me, Jennifer Baker?
Yes.
Detective Clint Harper, thanks for coming in today.
Do you have any leads on where she is?
Let's just go inside, okay? So you knew Miss Levy from California?
Yes, we both went to USC for our master's, School of Policy, Planning and Development.
And you both came to the district to intern?
Yeah, and typical Chandra, she had her internship lined up before she even got here. I was still looking for my internship, and she was already trying to figure out how to turn her internship into a real job.
For me, I always thought, man, she's got it together. She's got her whole life set. She knows what she wants to do. She's working towards it. And it's really admirable.
Okay, those first few weeks in town, what was your relationship like? What did you do?
Well, Chandra was obsessed with learning everything about Washington, so we spent a lot of time getting the lay of the land, networking, sightseeing. Actually, we had this sort of checklist.
Hi, ladies. Last call for the special. Drafts are half off.
Oh, I'll have one. Any lagers, okay.
Actually, I'll have a Cosmopolitan.
Cosmo? Okay.
Wow, fancy.
You don't order a Cosmo in a pub, you order beer. And she's determined to get what she wants and really shows you what kind of personality she has.
On the checklist. Okay, we have done, oh, we're so good, all of the memorials and monuments. Check, check. Check. We have done the National Zoo. We've done the White House, obviously.
Obviously.
We have done all of the Smithsonian museums. We are so good. Seriously, though, how are we gonna get you a job?
Well, I've been making cold calls, you know, and I've got resumes flying out left and right, but nothing yet.
Okay. So, from what I've seen so far, granted just a few short weeks, but still, it is all about access. Meeting the staffers, the assistants, pretty much anyone with a little bit of pull on the Hill.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think that the more we get out, the more we meet people, the more we figure out how to get our little feet in the door.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
We are.
Where were we?
Okay, so it looks like we have met with staffers. We've had our pictures taken in literally all of our local representatives' offices, which is good. Except for your local congressman from Modesto, Gary Condit.
Oh yeah, Condit Country.
What?
That's what they call my district, Condit Country. He's like pretty popular. He won by a landslide last election.
Well, maybe he should be our next stop.
I'm gonna call ahead. We're gonna make an appointment with a staffer and drum up some contacts.
You're young, you're carefree, and you're gonna go save the world. It's just a really empowering feeling, and we relished it that night.
Oh my God.
I know. Oh, this is it.
Do you have the camera?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
I gotta go. All right, bye.
Hi, we called ahead. We were told to ask for...
Tommy Grant.
Tommy Grant.
That's me, I'm Tommy.
Oh, Jennifer Baker.
Hi.
Chandra Levy.
Hi.
Hi.
You're on the books. Constituents, right?
Yes.
Great. Let me get someone to cover the phones real quick, so if you could, just have a seat, then I'll be with you in one moment, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The congressman's waiting on this. This needs to happen before next week's vote.
Tommy, I'm asking for the vote to be delayed. The whip needs more time. We gotta hit the phones.
Of course, Congressman. Congressman Condit, I'd like you to meet two constituents.
Jennifer Baker.
Jennifer?
We didn't expect to actually meet you.
Why not? Remember, I work for you. And you are?
Chandra Levy from Modesto.
Chandra. Hey, I'm on my way to the floor. How would you guys like a quick tour?
Seriously? We'd love it.
I was planning on taking...
Tommy, you gotta hit the phones. Ladies, this way, please.
During the tour, Chandra's very excited. Can't believe that, you know, she's walking down the halls of the Capitol with a member of Congress.
So how high is it actually?
Capitol building rises up 289 feet.
This is it, you know, we've made it. And she's asking so many questions about how laws are made, or if there's a disagreement, how do things really work, and she's like a sponge, trying to soak in as much as she can.
So, the North Wing is that way?
Yes.
That's the Senate chamber. And since the House is in the South Wing, it's that way?
Very good.
It's big, but considering everything that needs to play out here, it's not as big as you'd think.
My sense is that Condit is very friendly, charming, and flirtatious. That's his personality, and I think he was extremely friendly to these two young women.
Gary Condit was raised in Oklahoma. His father was a preacher. He worked in the oil fields at a young age, which I think is something that really toughened him up.
In high school, he was kind of a fast kid. He hung around with a fast crowd, and he fell in love with a woman who was different than he was, more proper, less willing to run with the fast crowd, Carolyn. They married. He moved to the Modesto area with his family. And from a very young age, for a politician, he got into politics.
Listen, I just want to come out and I want to thank the voters of the 18th Congressional District.
He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's a family man, he's loved by his constituents, and his area of the Central Valley is called Condit country. It's so secure. He's never lost an election in his entire career.
Right this way, ladies, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank you girls for coming out today. Can I offer you a drink before you go?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Actually, I don't drink, but I love white grape juice. It's less sweet. Here you go.
Thanks.
Sure.
Congressman, I hope I'm not too forward, but you wouldn't happen to have an internship open in your office, would you? I really need one to finish my degree, and I have a significant amount of experience at the state level. In Sacramento,
I imagine something can be worked out. Tommy?
Yes, I can get you the application packet, and we'll just need a resume and a writing sample.
Why don't you take a moment and walk her through it? Sign her up. I'll bring Miss Levy down once she finishes her drink.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're a California resident, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So do you work here at Rayburn?
Me? No, I'm at the Bureau of Prisons.
Bureau of Prisons? What you doing there?
Well, I'm hoping that it'll take me one step closer to my dream.
Which is?
Honestly, I would really like to be in the FBI, or maybe even the CIA. I mean, I'm not quite sure of the best way to get there yet. I mean, it seems like you need to know a lot of people in Washington to get anywhere around here.
Well, you know me. Look, I know what it's like when you're starting out. It seems like everyone belongs to a club and no one's inviting you to join.
Yeah.
Here's my private number. Whenever you want to talk about career stuff, need advice or an introduction, you call me anytime. We're all done.
Again, I can't thank you enough.
My pleasure.
Oh, and one last thing.
Oh.
Don't forget, yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh.
He's kind of cute for a congressman.
Are you for real?
Yeah, he reminds me a little of Harrison Ford.
Yeah, or my grandpa.
Your grandpa's cute?
It's like a whirlwind. We're just so ecstatic. We go out for coffee and just spend the rest of the afternoon talking about how cool that was. We have not only got our picture taken with a member of Congress, we got a tour, and I got an internship, and that's what you call a good day.
Who could have possibly thought that a chance encounter between a powerful congressman and a young intern could have changed both of their lives forever?
You said on the phone that Chandra confided in you about her life in the district.
Yeah, I guess you could say that I'm sort of the cool aunt that she can tell everything to.
Chandra and I have a special relationship because we're both very upfront, tell it like it is, honest gals.
You know, non-judgmental, you know?
And you claim she told you about a relationship she's having with a Congressman, Gary Condit?
Well, I don't claim it. It's true.
There are some serious implications to what you're saying.
I understand. My niece is having an affair with a married congressman. Scandal.
Which is why we'll keep this between us for now.
They brush it off almost, like it's not even real important to them. It was a very weird way that it was handled.
I just hope all this helps you find her.
Look, you mentioned on the phone that they met on Capitol Hill. How did this relationship between Chandra and the congressman get started?
You know how it feels when you meet someone important and they give you their number and they tell you to call them, and then you wonder if they really want you to call.
As I told Denny, I have to keep the coalition together till after the election.
What election? polls have you winning with 70%.
Oh, he doesn't take anything for granted. Learned that working the oil rigs in high school. Right, sweetheart?
Hello?
Hi, I'd like to speak to Congressman Condit.
Who's speaking?
Chandra Levy. We met last week at his office with my friend Jennifer, and he gave me this number, and I actually just wanted to leave a message for him.
1 sec. Won't be 5 minutes.
Sure, sweetheart.
Excuse me. Hi, it's Gary.
Congressman?
Yes, how can I help you?
Well, I was just calling because, I've been reading like the applications and the press kits about how to get into the FBI, and I've been asking around. I'm like totally confused because, one person says that I should stick with the Justice Department track, and then one person says, well, I should dive right into the application process, and then another
There's no
person
shortage
says
of opinions in D.C.
Well, since you were kind enough to offer to help, I guess I'd just really love to get your take on all this.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you make a list of questions and meet me tomorrow night? I have a committee meeting, so it'd have to be after that. A bit late. Like 9. Are you free?
I think for Chandra, this is very exciting. She's going to get to be friends with her congressman, and he's going to help her with her career. But for Gary Condit, twice her age, what is he thinking? Why is he inviting her over to his apartment? Where does he think this is going to go?
Let's go back to the sequence of events connected to the congressman. Miss Levy calls Condit, asks for help. He says, meet me at this address at 9 tonight. And she does what?
She goes.
Hi.
No chaperone? I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Congressman. I really appreciate your help.
Come on in, Chandra.
Thanks.
Right this way.
Oh,
Come on around.
thank you.
So, you're a Giants fan.
Huge, ever since I was 5. Oh, but they totally blew the playoffs this year.
The new ballpark's nice, though. Built without public funds. Although we gave them a tax abatement. To America's cutest future federal agent. Hey, let's get down to business. We can sit over here. Now, what draws you to the FBI? I could just as much see you working your way up as a congressional aide. You'd go far. The FBI's tough. It's tough to get in there, and it's tough to have a life.
Now you sound like my dad.
Well, your dad is right. It's a tough life. But if it's a life you want, you have to go after it.
Agreed.
Hey, are you hungry at all?
Hungry?
Yeah, I've got this pasta place down the block that delivers. I can have something sent up, if you want. Oh, I have some great friends in the FBI.
I actually feel really guilty you taking so much of your time talking to me about the FBI.
Talking? I'm a politician. Really, I don't mind going through it with you.
Thank you.
I think what Condit sees in Chandra is a young, innocent, naive but sexy at the same time woman. And she really likes him. She's very taken by him. And I think he enjoys that.
I admire your drive, Chandra. And I'm sure I can help you. Maybe I'll make you have dinner with me every night till I get you a job at the FBI.
That's a lot of dinner.
Ever kissed a congressman before?
No, especially not a married one.
Chandra, you need to know that my marriage is a political marriage. We're married in name only. We each have our own lives. But I understand if you don't want to.
Who says I don't want to?
I
think most people like being around power, and I think Chandra was no different. I think that she was kind of intoxicated by the entire Washington scene.
She joked in her yearbook, actually, that she was attracted to Harrison Ford and Brad Pitt, movie stars that were older than she was. And so this has always been sort of a theme with her. She had had a relationship with an older police officer back in Modesto. After the first night visiting Gary Condit, the relationship takes off. It's more than a friendship. Gary Condit would later call her a friend and constituent, but it's clearly more than a friendship.
Hey there.
This is an extremely dangerous situation for a married congressman in Washington, D.C. to be having an affair with a 24-year-old intern. And can you imagine what's going to happen if the media finds out about this? So Chandra Levy's affair with Gary Condit starts to fall into a routine. And she goes over to his apartment 2 or 3 times a week, and he makes it very clear to her that she's to keep this a secret at all costs.
Did anyone see you?
Don't worry, Mr. Congressman.
They mostly spend time in his apartment, and he has rules for her. She is never supposed to talk about the relationship at all. If she's in the elevator and someone asks her who she's going to visit, she's supposed to say a sick friend.
Where's the remote? Honestly.
We're looking
Where
for
is
it. Come on.
Gary Condit is a rising star on Capitol Hill. He is poised for political greatness. A lot of people are thinking that maybe he'll be a U.S. Senator one day, maybe Governor of California. The possibilities are endless for him.
So you have to ask yourself, is he thinking about the consequences of this affair for his family, for his career?
Are you ready for your fortune?
I am. Come on.
Sorry. It's just talking about this is just bringing a lot up.
I understand. If it's okay, I'd like to ask you how you found out about Miss Levy and the congressman.
Chandra called me. She's excited. She says she can't wait to see me. She has something to tell me.
And so you meet with her?
Yeah, Passover holiday. Everybody came to my house. Her parents came in from California. You know, all through dinner, Chandra and I are just, looking for a quiet moment to get together to talk. She wanted to spill so badly.
That's so bad.
I missed the chicken fat for the matzah.
Grandma, chicken fat, that's like so...
You know what we really need to do? We really want to get Chandra on the new motorcycle.
Oh my God.
What do you think of that?
Hey, I think if you can fit my hair in a helmet, I'm in.
A young girl on a motorcycle? No. In my day, you'd be married with kids already.
Grandma, those days are over. Can someone pass the fruit?
So there's a lot of family fun going on, but at the same time, Chandra and I are just waiting to get together quietly so she can tell me what's going on in her life.
During the Depression, it was
We're
such
both
a
looking at each other knowing that we want Grandma Lee to go to bed. She won't go to bed because Grandma Lee likes to act like she's 25 instead of 75.
Is she finally asleep?
Finally conked out after a shot of whiskey and a show tune sing-along. Look what I got.
Ugh, no more food. No.
So, what's going on?
Are you pregnant?
God, no. Linda.
Oh, you're so worked up. You're like oozing.
Okay. Okay. So, remember I told you about my friend Jennifer who works in Congress for a congressman?
Yeah.
And remember when you were asking me if I was dating anyone special?
Yeah. Yes. You're dating someone from the congressman's office.
Not quite.
Well, you're not dating the congressman. How old is he? I mean, where is he from? Is he married?
Linda, I can't tell you where he's from because then you'll know who he is and he'll just be really, really pissed if I tell anyone. But what I can say is, yes, he's married.
Oh my God.
Linda, it's not how it looks. Listen, his marriage is like ending really soon. And oh my God, I sound like such a cliche, but it's true. Like they're basically just friends, like political friends. It's all for show.
Okay, I believe that.
Linda, you're the only person in the world who knows. Please, please, please don't tell anything to anyone. He'd like kill me if he found out I was telling you right now. It's one of his like special codes of Condit. Oh my God.
Condit? So that's the name of the mystery man?
Linda, please don't breathe a word to anyone. Please, please. Do you think I'm crazy?
I don't want to burst her bubble, and I don't want to judge her. I'm her friend. Chandra has fallen in love with Gary Condit. She is head over heels, over the moon, in love with this guy.
Over the course of time that Chandra is in Washington, Susan wonders a bit, like who her friends are. Is she having a good time? And she asks Chandra about it, but is not really getting many detailed answers.
Susan suspects that her daughter is dating somebody, and Susan keeps pressing Chandra. Who are you seeing? Who is this person? And Chandra will not give up his name, just says that he's an important person in Washington and leaves it at that. And Susan starts to think that maybe he's a politician.
So Susan hears an intriguing story. It was later recanted, but at the time, it causes a great deal of suspicion in her mind about what was really happening. One day in April, she's in her backyard with Otis Thomas, who's a minister, but who's also a gardener, helping her with her roses, and they begin to talk. And at one point, Otis, whose nickname's OC, says something about his daughter getting mixed up with a congressman. And Susan perks up and says, "What do you mean?" And OC says, "My daughter got involved with Congressman Gary Condit. And it was a very bad relationship. They got romantically involved, and afterwards she kind of went into hiding. It ended badly." And a light bulb goes off in Susan's head. I wonder if that's the congressman who Chandra's so friendly with. I wonder if she's dating him.
Public Affairs, Chandra Levy speaking.
Chandra?
Mom? Hi. Is everything okay?
Not really. I just have something very important to ask you.
Okay.
I don't want to pry, but are you in a relationship with a congressman? With Gary Condit?
How did you find out?
Oh my God, Chandra.
Mom, listen, first of all, you can't say anything to anyone. If anyone found out, things would get really complicated, okay?
Complicated. It's already complicated.
Okay, Mom, listen, you know nothing about this part of my life, okay? Nothing.
Please, Chandra, you have to be careful. You know, some older men get a kick out of preying on younger women.
Okay, Mom, Gary is not preying on me. That's not how we are, okay?
Yes, but why don't you ask him about Otis Thomas's 18-year-old daughter? He dated her too.
Well, even if that is true, what's the big deal, Mom? People date people all the time. God, you're so old-fashioned.
Let's just say the story didn't end well. And with this guy, I bet there were others that didn't end well.
Mom, I am so mad at you for doing this.
Chandra, he is so much older than you.
Wow, Mom. Thank you so much for the new information. And thank you for ambushing me at work. And thank you for getting involved in things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. You just don't get it.
Maybe you don't get it.
Mom, if you're gonna be like this, maybe you shouldn't come in for my birthday. Goodbye, take care.
All right. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy birthday. One breath. Whoa, she almost made it.
24. I can't believe it.
Age of greatness.
Dad, you say that every year.
You're great every year. Small piece for me.
Come on.
I got nothing to lose.
First piece for you.
I get the first piece?
Of course you get the first piece.
Happy birthday, hon. Robert? You know, I'm gonna get some milk to go with that cake.
Mom. Mom?
I know. I'll stay out of your private life.
Thank you. Honestly, though, Mom, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, worry. Why would I worry? Is it that he's 30 years older than you, or that he's a married congressman with a wife and kids? What happens when they find out? What's gonna happen?
Mom, he has a plan, okay? He wants to be with me. It's gonna take him like a few years to work it all out, but he's gonna work it out.
And you believe him?
Yes.
Chandra, he's a politician. For someone so damn smart, I can't believe that
Mom.
you would...
I love him.
Hey, can we eat some birthday cake here?
Good idea.
You too. Come on.
Come on, Mom.
Mostly, Chandra and Gary Condit spend time in his apartment. Take out food, maybe a movie, mostly sex. Every once in a while, they'll go out to the suburbs, to a restaurant. At some point, Chandra starts to press Condit on where the relationship's going. How serious is it? Are they going to get married? And, we can only imagine that caused some tension.
So, this weekend, I'd really love to see the new Renee Zellweger film. Oh, and we can also maybe have birthday brunch on Sunday?
Sorry, Carolyn's coming to town for the Laura Bush luncheon.
I don't get it. I mean, you say that there's no love left, that you're just friends.
There isn't. I told you.
I could imagine a real future together. Can't you? And then you mentioned like Carolyn and luncheons, and I wonder if I can really trust you. I mean, if you're not truthful to your wife, how do I know you're going to be truthful to me?
Chandra, I want to be with you. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just, thinking about your district. I wonder what the people in Condit country would think if they knew about us.
So one day in the spring, Chandra starts thinking about her internship, and she wants to know definitively, when is this thing going to end? How much time do I have to find another job, get priority in hiring, and those sorts of things. So she asked me, what do you think? And I said, I wouldn't do anything. Wait for the bosses to show up. They're great advisors. I got to know. I can't sit on this. So she goes downstairs to Human Resources. Everything okay?
Other than that, I just got the boot.
What do you mean?
Well, they said since, I'm officially graduating in 2 weeks, they can't extend the internship. It's cool. I should have listened to you.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
I'll write you a good referral.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just let me know what's happening.
Totally, yeah.
Keep in touch. So all of a sudden, Chandra's in a position where her whole life changes because she pushed the envelope. But the result was that her internship suddenly ended.
She starts to figure out her next move. She starts making plans to come back to California. She cancels her gym membership. She cancels the lease on her apartment. She calls Gary Condit and asks him for help finding a new job. She's kind of a whirlwind of activity, just trying to get her life in order and figure out her next move.
Hi, Aunt Linda. It's me, Chandra. So my internship is officially ending, and I'm gonna go home for a while. But, I have some really big news. So call me, okay?
And I listen to this message, and I hang up, and I'm busy with my daily life, and I just didn't get around to calling and finding out what the big news was.
On the morning of May 1st, we don't know for sure, but it appears that she put on her tennis shoes, her leggings, her sports bra, her t-shirt, and went out of her Washington apartment, and she wasn't ever seen again.
Hi, you've reached Chandra. I'm not here, but leave a message and wait by your phone until I call you back.
Hi, hun. It's Mom and Dad again. We need you to call. We need to know what your travel plans are. Please call, hun. We're getting worried.
Mailbox is full.
We're still waiting for results from the hard drive retrieval team. They're trying to recapture the last searches on her computer.
Unfortunately, surveillance cameras at her apartment building are not accessible. Technical issues.
I know.
The Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. is at this point in time a fairly dysfunctional police department. They've had lots of trouble within the department. They've had a lot of botched homicide investigations, allegations of corruption. And already with the Chandra Levy case, there's clear signs that they're screwing up this case. They have failed to secure the surveillance tapes from her apartment. They crashed her computer, and they're really behind the 8 ball.
Let's keep reviewing every crime in Northwest. Let's have the outreach guys get out these posters. And let's check a gym for leads. Regroup in 2 hours.
Where is Chandra Levy? Has she been abducted? Has she been kidnapped? Has she been taken to another country? Has Gary Condit hired somebody around him to get rid of her?
There are rumors that she was pregnant. There are rumors that maybe Gary Condit killed her. There are rumors that maybe somebody connected to Gary Condit killed her.
To get some answers, the police turn to Gary Condit, and they begin to focus on the congressman. And the stakes could not be higher.
And told him I didn't know her that well.
And when was the last time you saw Miss Levy?
A couple weeks ago. She said something about her internship ending.
She seemed upset in any way?
Not in my recollection, no.
Not in your recollection?
No, sir.
Pretty quickly into this interview with the police, Gary Condit is starting to feel like he's a suspect, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the questions they're asking him. And at one point they say, "Do you have a relationship with Chandra Levy?"
Okay, I'm gonna be frank and upfront with you. I believe what I'm about to tell you is my private business. But I'm gonna lay it out in the spirit of full disclosure. And I trust you'll be discreet.
I'm listening.
I did give Miss Levy advice. She needed help learning about how the district works. We met a handful of times to discuss this. We were friends.
Okay.
And on a few occasions, she may have spent the night.
So you're confirming you had an intimate relationship with Miss Levy?
I don't think we need to go there. And you can infer with that what you want. And again, I'm a married man and would greatly appreciate your discretion.
There are very good police reporters in Washington who have built sources over years of covering the police. And their sources begin to tell them, boy, there's something odd going on here with Gary Condit. You might want to look at the Gary Condit angle. And then some reporters find Linda, who begins to tell the secret story that Chandra has confided in her about the affair.
I interviewed with the Washington Post, and I outed, for all intents and purposes, Gary Condit.
Congressman, are you a suspect in the disappearance of Chandra Levy? Have you been interviewed by police?
What do you want from the authorities? We want the authorities to do whatever it takes to bring Chandra back. She is still out there somewhere.
Mr. Condit, can you tell us anything, sir?
The congressman told police Levy had spent time at his apartment.
We have information that has been dribbling in bits and pieces.
Police want more details on Condit's movements in the days after the missing intern left her home.
Her frantic parents, a California doctor and his wife, host a reward and launch a cross-country search.
The Levys go to an organization in California that deals with victims and victims' rights, and this organization advises them if they want to keep any hope alive of finding their daughter, they need to keep this case alive in the media.
We're so worried, and our hearts are broken right now.
This is the flyer police plan to circulate tonight.
My friend's missing. We're looking for her.
Yeah, we're real frustrated. That's all we have. We have no more than we had 6 weeks ago.
No, now you listen to me, Detective. You have to stop the leaks.
Mrs. Levy, what's on the agenda for you here in D.C.?
Hyde voluntarily gave you sensitive personal information that has no bearing on this girl's disappearance.
We're meeting with the authorities, as well as anyone who can provide any information.
Gary Condit?
At this time, we welcome his full cooperation.
Thank you.
Call my attorney. No more interviews.
The reality is, I'm getting tired of waiting and worrying and being so fearful.
During the interviews, Susan Levy comes across as strong and determined. Robert Levy, on the other hand, is completely emotional and falls apart.
I don't know. I think she's been stolen.
We don't know
that. They're murdered. I think.
Inside the Metropolitan Police Department, there are a number of people who believe that Gary Condit is their prime suspect, and he has a motive, he has means, he has opportunity, and that he is their guy. All they need to do is prove it. That it's either him or somebody connected to him.
If Chandra Levy is Gary Condit's friend, why isn't he acting more distraught about her being missing? Why doesn't he get up and say, I'm so upset that Chandra Levy's missing. I don't know anything about it. He won't say anything.
Please, with respect, Congressman, we believe knowledge you have is crucial to our investigation. Look, it can only help your position to show the public that you're cooperating.
Everyone believes that Condit knows more than he is saying. He's acting in a suspicious way. He's running from the cameras. He seems to be stonewalling. But interestingly, he does want to talk to the Levys.
You really want this?
Yes, I have to look Gary Condit in the eye. I have to find out what he's holding back.
Well, I don't think I could handle being in the same room with the guy. I don't know what I'd do. If the lawyer says it's all right, I think you should go alone.
Hello? Yes? Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I think we can live with those terms. Okay. Well, let me know, because I have to book flights. Thanks.
Yeah?
He's agreed to meet under some conditions.
What conditions?
That it be off the record in a private place, no media, and I'd only be allowed to ask a few key questions.
After some negotiations between her lawyer and his lawyer, they plan a secret meeting in Washington at a well-known hotel, the Jefferson Hotel, to meet face to face.
If it's okay, I have a few questions for you.
Of course, Mrs. Levy. That's why I'm here. I'll do whatever I can to help.
When did you first meet Chandra?
One of her first thoughts is, he doesn't look like Harrison Ford. She's trying to see what her daughter saw in him. She doesn't think he's attractive. And she's not charmed by him at all. And all she wants to know is, where's my daughter? When was the last time you saw her? What have you done to my daughter?
So she came to you on April 24th And you talked about the end of her internship.
That's right. She asked if I could help find her a job.
And when did you see her again?
I didn't. We spoke on the phone for a few minutes on the 28th or 29th. We can get the phone records if you don't already have them, and that's it.
So that's it?
Yes. Mrs. Levy, please understand that I came here voluntarily to help, and that I told the police everything I know.
Do you, Mr. Condit, have any information about where she is now?
I don't. Really, I don't.
That's it then.
We have breaking news for you this evening. A shocking turn of events in the Chandra Levy case. A flight attendant came forward today claiming she too was having an affair with Congressman Gary Condit.
This flight attendant claims she was having an affair with him and that he asked her to sign a statement denying it.
He was very adamant about it. Don't talk to anybody about this. Don't talk to other flight attendants. Don't talk to your friends. You know, totally keep it a secret.
So, just when things couldn't get any crazier, this beautiful flight attendant, Anne-Marie Smith, comes forward and says she's having an affair with Gary Condit. At the same time that it appears that Chandra has been having an affair with Gary Condit. And the media goes crazy.
Anne-Marie Smith, Congressman, did you lie to your staff?
The police find semen stain on Chandra Levy's underpants that are found in a bag inside of her apartment. And they come to Condit and they say, we need to know whose DNA is on these underpants. Whose semen is this? And we would like the congressman to submit to a DNA test.
The idea and the belief at that time is if it does match, okay, that their boyfriend, girlfriend, they already know this. But maybe it belongs to another man, and that will let them know she had another boyfriend.
Congressman, counselor, thank you for voluntarily agreeing to this.
This is ridiculous. I'm a United States congressman, and you know I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
Open, please. Thank you, Congressman. Have a good evening.
So at this point, Gary Condit has given the police 3 interviews. He's given up his DNA. He feels like he's fully cooperating, and the police still want more. They want to search his apartment. And his lawyer, Abby Lowell, says, let them search your apartment. Let's get this behind us once and for all. Is there blood on the wall? Is there blood on the carpet? Is Chandra Levy's hair in the bathroom? The police are really all Condit, all the time, to the exclusion of other suspects.
Hey, Mike, listen, the police are on their way over to search my apartment. Yeah, I know, listen, they're gonna be here in a little bit. I don't have much time. If you're not doing anything, I really need you to help me with something. Thanks for helping me out, Mike. Let's head to Alexandria.
Police unloaded gear and entered the back door of California Congressman Gary Condit's apartment tonight.
Authorities are searching for blood, hair, and signs of struggle.
Bright lights of the investigators are visible to the media on the street below.
Let's go.
What Gary Condit doesn't realize is somebody is watching while he dumps this box into the trash can. He recognizes Gary Condit and he calls the police.
And this just makes him seem more suspicious than ever. Why is he doing this?
Hey, DNA test. Just came through. It's a positive match. It was Condit's semen on her underwear. Rules out another boyfriend.
Let's gather everyone together.
All right.
Although the DNA test was positive, the search of Condit's apartment has turned up nothing of interest. We're still sifting through, but it looks like we got nothing, unless he decides to get rid of more stuff in that trash bin.
We've ascertained that this is the object that Condit tried to dispose of, an empty watch case. No watch inside, just the warranty card. We ran a search on the serial number and the card and traced it back to him.
Why did Gary Condit dump an empty watch box in a trash can in Alexandria, Virginia?
Now, if you remember, our ability to access the last searches on Miss Levy's computer was severely limited due to the hard drive corruption that accidentally occurred when we first examined her computer.
When police are finally able, after 6 long weeks, to recover the information from Chandra's hard drive that they crashed, they're able to see that her final searches were for trail maps in Rock Creek Park.
We just issued an emergency order to search within 100 yards of every road and trail in the park.
Identify frequency.
Confirm. Canvas the bottom of that slope. Advance.
I need squad 2 closer to the mill. Copy?
Advance.
Copy that. No need to go as far as Western Ridge.
Advance.
So cadets and search teams show up at Rock Creek Park. When they get to Rock Creek Park, the order has been muffed. Instead of searching 100 yards off of all the roads and the trails, instead they search only off the roads, not the trails in Rock Creek Park.
Return to command.
Advance.
Repeat. Search aboard.
Attention all units, this will conclude today's search. Search has not yielded target evidence. All units report back to base.
It's okay, honey. You know, we're gonna help. Don't worry.
Mrs. Levy, what is your reaction to this morning's Modesto Bee editorial calling for the resignation of Congressman Gary Condit?
I haven't really read that yet.
Right now, we're focused on getting our daughter back.
Resign over what? This is outrageous. They've endorsed me for a decade.
Congressman, we need to take control. You need to show the public the real concerned Gary Condit.
Gary Condit is given advice that he needs to do some kind of an act of contrition in the public eye to try to put this case behind him so he can keep his seat in Congress.
I have been married 34 years. I have not been a perfect man. I have made mistakes, but out of respect for my family and out of a specific request from the Levy families, I am not going to share the details of my relationship with Chandra. And you know what? People understand that. They understand that we're entitled to a little bit of privacy here. I would have never harmed Chandra.
Hello? Oh, hi. Yes. What? What did you say? No, but this is extremely important. We need to get the word out. Please, my daughter is still missing. Okay. Please make sure to reschedule. Thanks.
Who the hell was that?
The producer from Oprah's show. They're not gonna fly us to Chicago today for the taping.
What?
Something happened in New York. I don't know, turn on the TV.
Coming to us now from downtown Manhattan, where 2 planes crashed into the World Trade Center about an hour ago. According to eyewitnesses, the planes were commercial airliners and seemed to deliberately aim for the towers. We are waiting for an official statement from authorities. Emergency vehicles have blanketed the city and estimate hundreds, if not thousands, of fatalities. Experts speculate that this was a planned and deliberate act of terrorism, but details remain sketchy at this time as investigators rush to the scene.
The 9/11 attacks changed everything, and the Chandra Levy story was no longer a story. It was not in the papers. Nothing was in the papers. Nothing was on TV except for 9/11 24/7.
The investigation slows down. Gary Condit, the prime suspect, is left hanging, and 9 months go by.
Copy that. We're about 80 yards off the trail.
So they find Chandra Levy's remains 79 yards below the Western Ridge Trail in Rock Creek Park.
We have human remains spread over.
Rock Creek Park is a sprawling urban park. It cuts through the center of the nation's capital. There are many walking trails. Some of them are isolated and go deep into the woods. They find her skull, many bones lying around. They find her clothes, they find her tennis shoes, they find her Walkman, they find her headphones.
Past the trail marker.
Hello?
I got a phone call from Susie, and she told me that some of Chandra's remains had been found in a park. And that's all I heard. And I just hung up the phone and cried.
I'm getting ready to talk about the Chandra Levy case on a TV program. And somebody comes into the waiting room and announces that Chandra's body has been found. And my thought at the time is, well, this is all for naught. I'm disgusted, I'm disappointed, I'm overwhelmed.
I'm at work when I find out that they found her, and I will never forget that day. I just remembered, even though I was not at the site that it happened, in my mind I kept getting these flashes of actually seeing her body, how they found it, and I have still yet to be able to get that out of my mind.
When I find out that Chandra Levy's remains have been found, I was actually talking to a police official about Chandra Levy at the time, and his pager went off. And I felt so sad that her remains were found in Rock Creek Park, and outraged that the police hadn't found her before now.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. You were great hosts.
appreciate it. That's terrific.
You guys shouldn't hit too much traffic to the airport.
We can always stop and grab a bite if it's bad.
Oh God, more food.
Sorry guys,
I
got
stuff
time.
from last night.
Honey, I can get that. I'm not that old yet.
Dad, enough of the video camera. Let life just happen. Okay. Safe flight, Dad. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Remember, Grandma's coming for graduation.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Mom, I'm gonna be back before you know it, and then you're probably gonna wish I were back here forever. Hey, Mom. Listen, don't worry. I'm okay. Honestly. Really. I'm cool. I love you.
All right, come on. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
My sister-in-law, Susie, I can't walk in her shoes. You put your head down on a pillow at night and you go to sleep, and then you're in a dream state. You're not conscious. And then she wakes up in the morning, and it's like reliving the death of her daughter every single day that she wakes up, because she realizes that her daughter's not here anymore.
So finally they found Chandra's remains, but this opened up a whole new range of questions. What was she doing in Rock Creek Park? Who killed her? Why did they kill her? And is there enough evidence in the park to build a criminal case? Now the mystery is solved as to where Chandra Levy is, but the bigger question remains, who killed her?
We are all on an emotional roller coaster throughout this tragic situation.
Sven Jones is no longer a suspect. He's been dismissed as a suspect a long time ago.
But for prime suspect Gary Condit, mysteries remain. Why was he being so cagey with police? Why didn't he seem more concerned about Chandra's disappearance? And why was he throwing out a watch box in Alexandria, Virginia?
A witness tells police he saw a man described as Condit throwing items into a dumpster in Virginia. Police later retrieved a small watch case which they believe was a gift from someone other than Chandra Levy.
As it turned out, that watch box contained a watch that was a gift for Gary Condit from one of his other girlfriends. And on the night that the police searched his apartment, he felt a need to get rid of that watch box.
Why is he doing this? The answer is that Gary Condit, all along, is trying to protect his private life. He doesn't want the police, the public, the press to find out not only about his affair with Chandra Levy, but about his relationships with these other women. The entire time that the police are following Condit, they're chasing leads to nowhere. So with only suspicions to go on and no direct evidence linking Gary Condit to Chandra Levy's murder, time passes and the case goes cold.
And so, although we lost this election, it has been an honor serving you all for these past 10 years.
So what's your address?
So the case goes cold. 5 years go by. It's 2007, and the two top investigative editors at the Washington Post come to me and say, how would you like to reinvestigate the Chandra Levy case? Whatever happened to that case? Who killed Chandra Levy? And for me, it was a rare chance, a second chance at a story that had gotten away, that we'd never finished.
We begin investigating this case just like you would begin with any other case, and that's trying to go back to the very beginning. Trying to go back in time to 2001, trying to figure out what was happening back then. One of the things that was happening in 2001 is that women were being stalked and attacked in Rock Creek Park, the place where Chandra Levy's body had been found. And the question was, were those attacks connected in any way to the disappearance of Chandra Levy? After one of the attacks in the park, the victim goes to the ranger station to seek help.
Just relax.
She describes her attacker.
Take a deep breath.
They send out a dispatch. They dispatch a helicopter, and they find a man fitting the description. They bring him in for questioning.
So, for the record, you say you were jogging and you accidentally bumped into the woman.
¿Usted dice que iba corriendo y que accidentalmente chocó con esta mujer?
Sí, pero fue accidente.
Yes, but it was an accident.
And after you accidentally bumped into her, she lost her footing and fell down the hill.
Y después que usted accidentalmente chocó con esta mujer, ella se tropezó y se cayó por la bajada?
Traté de darle, pero ella gritó y salió corriendo.
He tried to help her, but she screamed and ran away.
Ingmar Guandicki is an illegal immigrant from El Salvador. He has lost his job as a construction worker, and he is hanging out in Rock Creek Park. He has started drinking, he's started using drugs, and he's feeling pretty alone and unhappy in the world.
One more thing. Have you ever seen this woman in the park?
¿Alguna vez ha visto a esta mujer en el parque?
Una vez caminar o trotar en el parque. Otra vez.
Yes, only once. Maybe by the Pierce Mill, if his memory is right.
Another huge mistake we found in our investigations when Ingmar Guandicki was brought in for questioning, he admitted to seeing Chandra Levy in Rock Creek Park. And that admission was never put into the official report, and it was a huge mistake by the police, and they failed to make that connection.
Bring him down and book him.
Ingmar Adelaide Guandicki, do you understand that you have pled guilty to 2 separate crimes of assault and that we are now moving into the sentencing phase of this trial?
¿Y de que estamos en la etapa de sentencia en este juicio?
Sí. Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my client has been...
Ingmar Guandicki confesses to attacking 2 women in Rock Creek Park. He's brought into court, and after dramatic testimony by his victims, he's sentenced to 10 years in prison.
I would like to ask the judge...
So, incredibly, you have a man who has admitted to attacking 2 women in the same park, in the same area where Chandra Levy's remains are found, but no one's investigating him. Why is no one making the link between Ingmar Guandicki and Chandra Levy? So as we continued our reinvestigation of the Chandra Levy murder, we keep circling back to this illegal immigrant, Ingmar Guandicki. Why are the police not looking at him? It's so obvious to us that there's a crucial connection here.
Ingmar Guandicki was attacking women in Rock Creek Park at the same time as Chandra Levy's disappearance. We interviewed his girlfriend, who had never been interviewed by police, who said that he came home the day of Chandra Levy's disappearance, covered in scratches on his face and his neck. He even confessed to cellmates while he was in prison.
It tells me, homeboy, I killed the girl, the famous girl in the papers. He was proud. In the park, he said, I don't rape her, but I kill her.
We spent a year investigating this case, and at the conclusion of that year, we published a 13-part series in the Washington Post that basically exonerated Gary Condit of this homicide, and our evidence pointed in the direction of Ingmar Guandicki as the most likely suspect in the murder of Chandra Levy.
2 months after our investigation was published, the DC police go to California for the first time to interview Imar Guandique. They enter his prison cell and they find something very interesting.
This is a case that they could have put together 9 years ago, 10 years ago. This was a case that was laying right in front of them, and they completely missed it. And it's really a miscarriage of justice.
So after nearly a decade, investigators are finally able to piece together Chandra Levy's final hours on May 1st, 2001. Although we don't know for sure what happened in Chandra Levy's final moments, we can speculate based on the crime scene.
Off the Western Ridge Trail, they find a USC t-shirt turned inside out. They find a bra, they find underwear that indicate that there was a violent struggle. They find a pair of leggings that Chandra was wearing. Each pant leg is knotted at the end. It looks like that Chandra had been tied up.
Guandique maintains his innocence and pleads not guilty. But the prosecutors build a case based on jailhouse confessions, new interviews with people who know Guandique, and a range of circumstantial evidence.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
You may read the verdict.
We, the people of the jury, find the defendant, Ingmar Guandique, guilty of murder in the first degree.
It's a bittersweet feeling. I mean, I feel like justice had been done, but I also feel like I know too well the story of what happened to this young girl, and a random, brutal murder occurred in the middle of the city.
Life is not clean. Criminal investigations are not clean. A lot of people think this is not a clean verdict, that there are a lot of questions about this case that still remain.
This has ruined so many people's lives. We'll never be the same. It doesn't change any of that. It doesn't change a thing.
It never goes away. The pain that Bob and Susie both have, you can hear it in their voices. There's a sadness that it's like somebody sucked some of their life out of each of them.
The thing I think that's really important to take away is Chandra is a person. She embodies human passion and motivation and humor. She's not just the girlfriend of an older, powerful congressman.
My life is so different because I knew Chandra Levy. It's I can't answer that question.
At the end of the day, what counts is her and who she was and who she still is and how she's remembered, and not, all the media, all the court stuff. That's that happened, but I try to just remember her as a person, and the short time that I got to know her, and just remember her in that way.
For my own processing and spirituality, it's very helpful for me to think of her as here somewhere, and not to think of her as just simply gone or vanished.
I live each day as if it's my last, and I am not as judgmental as I used to be. My glass is always half full.